Have you ever found yourself extremely emotional and not known why? Or maybe you felt uncontrollably angry or sad at small things. Are you feeling stuck or held back because you aren't good enough or you feel worthless? Timeline therapy is a powerful technique to make changes in your life. Through timeline, we can go back to the past to heal and release events that are affecting your life today. Look around you. Everything in your life right now has been attracted to you by you. This attraction happens from your actions, behaviors, beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. Your thoughts affect your feelings, which then affect your actions and your behaviors. So if you feel insecure, perhaps you have the thought that they won't choose me, which can then lead to the action, sit down and keep quiet. And what happens is you miss out on an opportunity, don't you? Where did that initial feeling of insecurity come from? It came from a belief lodged in your unconscious. Timeline therapy provides a quick and effective way to reprogram memories and events of the past that are blocking you today, so that you can move elegantly and powerfully into your future. This is a proven process for letting go of negative feelings, beliefs, or limiting decisions that we unconsciously store in our memories. This technique allows you to work at an unconscious level and release the effects of past negative experiences and change inappropriate programming, which means you are free to create what you want into the future, right? In a timeline session, we first identify where your timeline is located in space. Everyone stores in his or her mind a physical location for the past, present, and future. You may notice that your past is in one direction and your future in another, on a continuous or implied line that you likely can't see now, but you are aware exists. When we get to your timeline therapy session, we will discover together exactly where yours is. Each memory we have is stored in various ways. We've talked before about cellular memory and how each cell stores the memory of every moment of our lives and those of our parents and grandparents through our genetics and genealogy. Another way we store memories is known as a Gestalt. Have you seen the Disney movie Inside Out? In case you haven't, in this movie, each memory the little girl has over her life creates a little ball, and it forms in her unconscious mind. Each ball reflects a certain emotion that she felt when that memory was formed: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, guilt, shame, and so on. Funny part is, this is actually true. Every time you experience an emotion, one of these little balls is formed. Now, while you're very young, the balls are just randomly stored, and everything we experience is stored unconsciously. Have you ever noticed how a small child actually believes everything you say? They don't have the ability to analyze yet. They're just sucking in everything, absorbing it all. But around 7 years old, this starts to change. As you begin to develop the ability to evaluate and analyze, and your unconscious mind is formed, all of these little balls of memories start to line up in a row. All the anger balls lined up in chronological order, all the happiness, all the sadness, forming a long chain of each emotion. And as you can imagine, some of the memories, or events as we call them, were significant. You remember them and they had a significant impact on your life even today. Like perhaps the time you lost your dog. And we call those significant emotional events, or C's. So as we get older and more memories and experiences happen, these chains keep getting bigger and longer and heavier. And again, as you can imagine, the emotional responses do as well. So have you ever had an experience like road rage, where you got irrationally angry for very little reason, or extremely sad and crying over something equally small? These responses can be attributed to an excessively long chain, or Gestalt, of anger, rage, or sadness. And the good news is we can let them go. In timeline therapy, we go back to the very first event or root cause, the very first time you felt that emotion, such as anger, and by addressing this event and learning from it, it will automatically heal over that event. It will release the emotion from all of the following events on that chain. Your ability to feel angry in the future will still be there, but at an appropriate level related to the situation that you're in at the time. The feelings associated with these events and the effects that they have on your life will no longer be the same. They will no longer block you from moving forward. So how do we do this? When you travel back on your timeline to the root cause, you may go back to when you were 2 or 3 years old. Some people think, oh, it's the time that horrible thing happened when I was 25. But usually it's an earlier event that occurred before 5 years of age. And often it's an event that you don't even remember. In some cases, you may even travel back prior to birth. Some people travel back to the womb or before. How is this possible? It depends upon your beliefs, really. Some people experience this journey as a past life regression, while others believe they are experiencing memories passed down through the genetic code from their ancestors. Or perhaps it is simply a metaphor that the unconscious mind creates to bring up and resolve the past issues. The unconscious mind loves to work with metaphors and symbols, right? Whatever the case, whatever your belief, timelines, they do work. They have amazing results. As your timeline therapy practitioner, I will ask you several questions to discover where the root cause of your gestalt or chain of emotions began forming. I will be looking for the very first time you felt that emotion. After we have located that first event, I will be giving you instructions to follow to complete the process. Since this is a one-on-one process, I will not explain fully here, but it is important for you to know what areas we are looking for throughout the process. Below is a picture of your timeline. If you will imagine it is a straight line, you will notice that where you are is now, in this present moment, and your past is to the left, your future is to the right. While we are doing a timeline therapy run, you will be visualizing or in some way sensing your timeline. When I say line, I don't mean to imply only visual, but it could also be noticed as sounds floating in the wind, or floating in the bathtub, or you may feel your timeline in some way. However you notice and travel along your timeline will be just perfect for you. While we are doing the process, you will be accessing these 4 locations, floating way up high above your timeline and looking down on it. Location number 1 will be having you way up high above your timeline, looking before the event and facing your past. Number 2 is above the event, looking right straight down on it, way up high. Number 3 is actually before the event, and it's above the event looking towards now. And number 4 is as you float down into your timeline, right into that event, and looking through your own eyes. When we do your timeline therapy session, I will remind you, as we do each timeline therapy run, where you are. It is a very well guided process, and you will be safe. By accessing these locations and following the specific instructions during your session, you will be releasing the emotions attached in these chains and restoring your ability for choice. Both negative emotions and limiting decisions will be rewired using the timeline therapy process. Emotions such as anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, conflict, and anxiety can be responsible for preventing people from moving forward and achieving the life that they desire. Limiting decisions and beliefs also play a role in holding us back. How often do you say, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't get things right"? These are some of the limitations you may have that stop you from creating your goals and your outcomes. By not letting go of these emotions, we are in direct conflict of the unconscious mind, which is to preserve the body. That's the primary purpose of the unconscious mind. These emotions do not preserve the body, and they can actually harm the body. If you're feeling weighed down by negative emotions and you want to get rid of emotional baggage, timeline therapy might just be the solution that you need. Because you go to the root of the problem with timeline therapy and release the emotion or problem from that point in time, the solution is permanent. You will be amazed at how different you will feel, calmer, in control, and all in a simple 2 to 3 hours. Thank you.